Hey everyone, welcome back. Got another game here, Conflikt 47, Mechanized Germans versus some Soviets. This was a pre-lockdown game, so the double LMG submission rules and all that new stuff hasn't been officially released yet. We were playing 1,000 points, maximum attrition. So my list, it was mostly the standard veterans. I added back in some commissars and some other stuff. Look at the forces. So yeah, volunteers are the conscripts, veteran squad, veteran squad, veteran squad. I did try out the two LMGs to give me a good base of fire support in one squad. I normally would only run one. I thought I'd give two a try. Got a mortar, AT rifle, flamethrower, um, commissar here, and first LT. My opponent, this is a mainly heavy infantry. As you can see, three squads decked out the same, transports, and then some pioneers with another flamethrower and LT in it. So the board layout brings us to 1. So this will be pretty quick. So yeah, this was rather uneventful with a lot of the line of sight blocking terrain. Most of the first turn was just moving forward. He did decide to bring in some of these guys on foot to try to capture terrain, as they did have LMGs. So me bringing in my forces, the main being the mortar up here, good line of fire. There's a spotter, and then running I believe the double LMG squad I put in here, give them good cover, and then they can just lay down fire all game. Brings us to 2. So yeah, just a action pose of my LT or commissar telling people what to do, and you can kind of, yeah, I didn't pop the lid off here, but you can see the double LMG squad in the building there. Yeah, and you can see the German forces advancing as well. He's not particularly afraid of my anti-tank rifle, but he didn't want to give him, why give anything to your opponent? Yeah, and then so his idea is he's hopping them in for cover. They're going to use their at this range. He's able to reach, things over here. So he knows I don't have enough things to reach out and get him, so that I'm going to hide. So he's going to basically forcing him to advance unless he wants to play for a draw. So he's moving in cautiously and in cover. So he's protecting his assets while he's getting his stuff in range to, cut loose with the MMGs and assault rifles and such on his basic troops. Yeah, and you can so here's the start of it. So we're getting in a firefight here, and then yeah, board state at the end of 2. Yeah, so his forces are coming in, jumping in cover, and yeah, just laying down fire. Brings us to 3. Yeah, so I said the first couple were fairly uneventful. I did, so he's finally moved this guy up to where, get good line of sight and all that, and pulled off a shot, and of course they miss. Then, yep, firefight continues. Yeah, so they end up just, I don't know how much of this building or ruins is left standing, because, yeah, a lot of lids being thrown back and forth here. Yeah, and then you can see the continued German advance. So yeah, the heavy infantry are coming up. So he's setting up a good fire base here, cover his right flank. 3 MMGs covering his left flank. Well, after that one moves out, and then his heavy infantry and pioneers coming in to actually clear the buildings. So yep. So they're, he's getting on turn 3. We haven't actually killed anything yet, and yeah, so it's providing a little bit more motivation on him to get in there. Yeah, so he's running his transports up. So at this time, knowing what so I kept some stuff in reserve. So I'm running these guys out, my heavy infantry, because I knew, I really only had these guys that could do anything reliably to the transport. So I was hiding them out, knowing that if I, sent them out, they would just die. The mortar scored a hit. Didn't do anything, but yeah, not even wounds or pins. I think most of this damage is from the firefighting with these guys. But either way, after I got it zeroed in, he's um, yeah, basically jumping cover with them advancing his or his transport's advancing and everything. He's just at this point now going to just do a full court press. So I kind of derailed his plans a little bit here because I'm pretty sure he was going to run this transport up the sides to start firing down, hop these guys into the train, and kind of get me in that L shape. So yeah, one squad here, other squads in the front, and just catch me in the crossfire. But I was able to jump out with these guys and yeah, at least pop that. I think I killed one or two of the heavy infantry, but mainly just locked him down here. And with that done, he's keeps moving his troops up. I believe in this one, yeah, this is the different one. This one had the pioneers in it, and this is the into turn 3. Yeah, you could see the amount of firepower or shots that are going into this unit here. And I'm not really showing the casualties yet, but yeah, they've been losing. It's been peeling off a couple of turns, so we're getting, at this point we're down to, maybe four or five guys. Brings us to 4. So yeah, finally the schmucks show up. My goal for them was keep them out of the way, really, but still have them in range enough to at least maybe support. So the idea is, the German transports are open topped, so using the LMG and maybe just the rifles, just to throw a pin or two on them, especially after the price of failure. The anti-tank rifle's gone, so the hope being is if I can just throw some pins on it and have them in cover, that they may be safe enough to help in the fight, but also not give away that victory point for them getting killed. Yep. Then the another reminder of the AT rifle that had one job and failed. Yeah, so Mortar's been doing good. He at least forced that other unit out of the building. So yep, LMG. So I think I rallied this turn. Yeah, they're being as this maximum attrition game, transports running to the back just to stay hopefully out of line of sight as best I can. And then rallying them because at that point they had like 4 or 5 pins, if not more. Yeah, you can see them a little bit up here. So yeah, as I mentioned, this was the pioneer group with also the flamethrower, so they jump out and you can already start seeing the damage. Yes, a poof. in a rain, fiery death and SMG fire, or from here. So flamethrower team, functionally flamethrower team traded for my heavy infantry. So Germans won out that time. So given that, so I run these guys up, hoping, okay, there's 3 guys, got a couple pins on them, should be able to run up, hopefully finish them off, and I don't. You can see, so pioneers come up, the engineers come up, hit them. Thankfully the flamethrower missed. Seeing that, run over the commissar, hopefully put some inexperienced shots in here, but also just provide motivation for them. Now with the ops squad out of the way, the brave heavy infantry start continuing with their plan of locking down this flank to where come up here, capture this. So now all my forces are caught between the firing line and then support element over here, bringing us to 5. So we're closing in. Yeah, so you can see it here, exactly what he was doing, and then as far as locking me down. So yeah, they're moving in, just covering fire here. They're sweeping in, a little bit weaker, but yeah, it's not a good day to be caught here. Yeah, and they get mowed down. I think, yeah, all but like one. I think they all got killed. Yeah. So firefight, and yeah, didn't picked off a couple, but not enough. And over here, yeah, it's called the good turn for the Germans, especially good. So yeah, they got hit uh, but the MMG failed their green test and got 5 pins on them. So the heavy infantry, like I said, continue their attention. LT's hopping out, so they're just trying to put pins and collect the as many units as possible, get those points. So they pop Lieutenant Ivanov and his buddy. But I still have a little bit left to do. So next round of reinforcements show up. How do you like flamethrowers? So they cook off his heavy infantry. And then other guys, my other SMG squad hops out of the truck, comes. We trade LTs, so he got mine, so I get his. And then, yeah, I believe it's from this squad. Maybe there was a guy over here, but either way, fire off a Panzerfaust. I believe we have two. Pop the other transport here. So that was, at this point we're trying to collect as many points as I can. Brings us to 6. So yeah, at this point we're in fallback mode. I forget what. Oh, it's probably the squad. Yeah, so they're taking fire. So I'm moving these group into cover just to help out. So yeah, just preservation at this point. These these guys are hanging on. They're down to like 2 or 3 guys. Yeah, they're just trying to finish them off. Truck bolts back here. Other one to get protection. Then I believe this is the dead. Yeah, firing into here. So yeah, at this point I'm hiding and running back, so they're not getting. He's got really the superiority, but he's not able to actually do anything with it because I'm hiding. Yeah, so they just keep closing in because they're throwing even more bullets into these guys now because they can taste blood and they want that sweet victory point. And on that note, brings us to turn 6 end, and yeah, we don't get a 7th. So luckily, we've been thinned out. Yeah, this is down at this point. I think I had 3 guys, 2 or 3s in this squad. Was it 4 in that one? So yeah, it was a bloodbath. But that said, it ended up being a draw in the Soviets' favor. Yeah, so I was able to kill 6 of his units to his 5 of mine. Yeah, so it was a really good game, real bloody. I was looking at it and didn't realize how good or how that I was actually in the lead until we started adding it up. Mainly because he had some bad dice and wasn't able to finish that double LMG squad in the building. Yeah, so he put a ton of fire into them and just wasn't able to roll the wounds. So he was pinning them and they weren't going anywhere, but he just wasn't able to finish them off like the other units. It was a real good game. Had a lot of fun, and yeah, it's definitely playing against the mechanized force, even in the city fight. It was interesting because he was doing the right stuff, using the transports to block and protect his stuff, but also lay down a good amount of firepower. And that's something that I'm looking at. I'll probably have a mechanized force here before too long, or one that I like, want to field, and probably looking to give forward or getting that on the table. But I don't. The difference is theirs being armor 7, so they can actually participate in the fight, whereas we have trucks, so it's more of just a drop them off and run off. But anyway, thanks for watching and have a good one.